Hi, and thank you for joining us for this Spotlight on Religious Awards webinar brought to you by Girl Scouts of Western New York. By the end of this webinar, we hope that you'll be able to list the two categories of religious awards that girls may pursue in Girl Scouts, explain why religious awards support the overall Girl Scout mission, locate the requirements for the My Promise, My Faith awards, identify resources for award programs for particular religious organizations, communicate with troop families regarding award requirements, and celebrate your troop's religious award accomplishments. So what are religious awards? There's two categories of religious awards. First, the GSUSA Religious Award, My Promise, My Faith, which was created by Girl Scouts of the USA. And then religious award programs that were created through a particular faith. Regardless of which category of religious award, they support our Girl Scout mission because everything in Girl Scouting is based on the Girl Scout Promise and Law. And these include many principles and values which are common across religions. And although we're a secular organization, we've always encouraged girls to take individual spiritual journeys via their faith's religious recognitions. It's important to note that programming with a religious affiliation is always optional programming, and you should obtain parental consent before scheduling whole troop religious programming. As you'll see, religious awards are really designed to be individual awards pursued with the girl and her family. Let's take a look at the My Promise, My Faith GSUSA Religious Award. The requirements are found in the Girl's Guide to Girl Scouting at every level, as well as on the GSUSA website. Girls may earn this award once a year at every level, so depending on the program level, girls may earn the pin 2 or 3 times at that level. The steps for earning My Promise, My Faith are kind of neat because the same 5 steps are the requirements whether the girl is in kindergarten or in 12th grade. It's really just the types of experiences and the girl's maturity that is going to alter how she approaches those steps. So here are the steps. First, she's going to choose one line from the Girl Scout Law and then find a story, song, or poem from her faith with the same ideas. She's going to talk with family and friends about the line of the law and the story, song, or poem and talk about what they have in common. Then she's going to find a woman in her own or a different faith community and talk with her about how she uses that line of the law in her own life. Then she'll gather 3 inspirational quotes by women that fit that line of the Girl Scout law and try to enact them in her life. She's going to make something to remind her of what she's learned, and that can be a drawing, a painting, a poster, a skit, anything. Even though it's not a requirement, it would be very appropriate for her to share this with friends, family, or in a troop meeting. And then finally, keeping the connection strong by furthering it by checking to see if the faith community offers a recognition program for Girl Scouts. And then again, finding out how can you reach out and continue to share the message of what you've learned. So again, you can imagine that what a kindergartner does to fulfill these requirements would be very different than a girl in high school. What would be kind of a neat project is if you suspect that a girl might do this a number of times over her Girl Scout career, is encourage her to keep a scrapbook of mementos of her completing these 5 steps. And it would be really neat to compare them over the years to see how she's grown and matured. So that's My Promise, My Faith, the GSUSA Religious Award. Then the other category are the religious award programs that are created through particular religious organizations. And they're designed to help a girl grow stronger in and learn more about her own particular faith. And here there's just a picture of just a few of the religious awards. This is not by no means all of them. It's just a snapshot of what some of them look like. The best thing you can learn as a troop leader about religious awards is where to find the resources. And the best resources exist on the Pray Publishing website. Pray Publishing is not a particular religious organization, but they have collected a lot of resources from religious organizations and package them for scouting. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the resources that they have. If you are looking on the Pray website and you don't see anything for your particular religious award religious organization, or a girl doesn't, it doesn't mean that they don't have particular awards. It just means they haven't been part of the collection with Pray Publishing, and they're still perfectly valid and can be pursued. But this is just a one-stop shop for a lot of religious groups. Here we reference the To Serve God chart, and this again has a lot of the information that families will need to get started with religious awards. Here's a snapshot of a little bit of the To Serve God chart. Again, it's available right on their website, but one side of it has the picture of all of the religious awards that have been collected through Pray. So if you just look at them quickly, some of them are covered, but you can see that many of the common religious organizations in the U.S. Have been collected by Pray. So that's one side of their chart. The other side has a listing of all of these organizations and their contact information. You'll see in a minute why the contact information is important. But again, I want to emphasize that if a particular religious group is not listed on here, it doesn't mean they don't have an award that a Girl Scout can earn. It just means they haven't been collected by Pray. Also contained on their To Serve God chart is how they get started on these programs. And we want to emphasize that the role of the troop leader is going to be to educate families about these awards, and then the families can decide if they want to individually pursue. Unlike other Girl Scout programming where the girls do it together as a troop, religious awards of this nature are designed to be a family activity. So there isn't an expectation that the troop leader has to be an expert on every religious award, and that the troop leader is providing religious education to the girls. It's really designed that the troop leader is educating parents about how to find information on these awards, and then the parents can decide whether or not they wish to pursue them. So the way that would happen is that the girls would obtain the specific booklet for their religion. And again, that's why that mailing information is important, because they can either contact them via mail or email or telephone and request a specific booklet. Then the parents would review the program guidelines and determine whether the program is something that they wish to pursue. Then the third step is they would talk to their religious leaders, talk to them about the requirements that are in the booklet, and figure out a plan for completing those requirements. And then last, the girls would obviously complete the requirements, obtain all the steps that need to happen, and then follow the instructions to receive the recognition or pin. The recognitions and pins are not sold through Girl Scouts, so they're not sold through the council shop nor through GSUSA. They are ordered and received through the particular religious organization. So the way you would encourage religious awards in the troop, as I've mentioned, is to give the information to families so they can decide whether or not to participate in the religious award program of their faith. Please don't make assumptions regarding religious affiliations or practices. Even if all of your girls all go to the same religious services, even if they all attend a school that's affiliated with a particular religion. Please don't make assumptions that that means everybody in the troop would want to do this particular award, and so that's what you're going to do at troop meetings without obtaining parental consent. You can't make assumptions about what families are comfortable with, so that's why it's better to actually have a meeting where the parents come in. You can talk to them about it, give them the information, and then they just pursue it on their own. The Pray website offers a troop leader script, which is literally a script for troop leaders to read to parents to explain to them about religious awards. There's also a parent letter that can accompany that they could send home to find out more about religious awards. So it's all already created for you, very easy to do. And we do want to encourage families to do this because for some families, it would be great to see that connection between their religious affiliation and Girl Scouting. But we want to leave that decision up to individual families. If girls earn the religious awards, there are different ways they can be presented. The My Promise, My Faith pin could be presented via any troop ceremony, and just Googling Girl Scout Religious Award Certificate, you will find so many adorable certificates that other people have already made that you can print out and customize. And it just adds that little extra special something when you present those certificates along with the pins. As mentioned, the religious awards are purchased through each individual religious organization, and they're generally presented as part of a religious service. However, even if they've already been presented by the religious organization, you can still acknowledge them and recognize them as part of a troop ceremony or court of awards. In terms of the cost for religious awards, if there is a cost associated with it that the family would need to pay, the troop should decide whether they're going to subsidize those costs or not. Since not all girls may pursue their individual religious award, it's not like you're buying a badge or a pin for everybody in the troop. And there may be some disparity in terms of the costs. So you just want to have a discussion with the girls that if individual girls want to pursue these awards, is that something that the troop will pay for, or is it something that if families want to do it, they're just going to pay for it? And you would want to have that be part of the parent presentation that you do on religious awards, just to be clear, so there's no misunderstanding that if they choose to pursue the religious awards, for example, that's a cost that the family would incur. In terms of where to place it on the uniform, both My Promise, My Faith, and any earned religious award are worn on the front of the vest or sash because they are earned awards. And as you can see in the diagram, that they are worn below the membership stars, below any other leadership awards that have been earned, but above any badges or journeys, those patches, they would be worn above them. They show My Promise, My Faith, but you would also wear any other religious awards that you've earned on there. And you want to wear the ones for the year that you've earned them. So if you earn a religious award when you're a junior, wear it when you're a junior. When you move up to cadets, don't bring your junior one with you. There are also adult religious recognitions, and they are given to adults who provide outstanding service both to their own religious organization and to Girl Scouts. Adult awards, unlike girl awards, are not earned. There isn't a checklist of things to complete. An outside party must nominate an adult to receive an award. And not all religious organizations have an adult award. If, again, you check out the Pray website, there's a whole section on religious recognitions for adults. This might be a great way to recognize a fellow volunteer who you know does great work within his or her religious organization and also as a Girl Scout volunteer. I hope you're taking away from this webinar that religious awards can enhance the Girl Scout program for many girls. That the My Promise, My Faith program allows girls to explore the connection between their faith and the Girl Scout law, while religious organizations have offered award programs that allow girls to connect and learn more about their individual religion. Religious awards are primarily designed as programs that are individually pursued and have a strong family component, and that the role of the troop leader is to educate families about religious awards. And don't forget, religious awards are always optional programming. I hope this webinar has encouraged you to talk to your families about religious awards because I know it'll enhance programming for many girls. Thank you for joining us, and as always, if you have any questions, contact us at training@gswny.org. Thanks for all you do.